let's cook some lamb. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to my barbecue pit. What I got going today is, this is a Frenched rack of lamb that I picked up at Aldi's. This thing cost $27. It's $10 a pound. And I know a lot of people don't like lamb, but I do. So today we're going to make this French rack of lamb. Let me get it out of the packaging and we'll deal with this lamb in a minute. Stay tuned. Okay, I got my French rack of lamb out of the packaging. It's got a big fat cap on top. And I think I want to take a lot of that off of there. Fat is flavor, but I think this is a little too much fat. And I think that under this fat there might be some silver skin. So I want to trim a lot of that fat off of there. Not too much of it, but a lot of it is coming off because it won't render. Here we go. There you go. You're going to get down to that, see that silver skin? I want to get that off of there too. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, right there. Let me get my knife under that fat. That's a lot of people like lamb fat. I think lamb fat contributes to the gamey taste of lamb. Some people claim that lamb tastes gamey to them, but I think the lamb fat is what contributes to it. Also, the source, where you're getting your lamb from, this is from Aldi's, and I think it's domestic lamb, so I don't think it's a really weird sourcing. It's probably, grown domestically here. I don't really know. I didn't look at the packaging. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to get all that, get most of that fat off there. Any silver skin I see is coming off too. Come this way now with my knife so I don't cut myself. Get that off of there. And that way we get down to the meat, because we want the rub to penetrate the meat. Not to penetrate, but to contact the meat. Okay, so let me finish up with this and I'll bring you back for the next step. Stay tuned. Okay, I got my lamb rack trimmed up the way I want it. I left some fat on there. I took all the silver skin off that I could get to without taking too much of the meat off. Now when I barbecue meat, normally what I do is I use Sang stir-fry oil for a binder. But in this cook we're going to use Dijon mustard for a binder. We're just going to slather some Dijon mustard on there and rub that on this lamb rack. That's going to help create a crust on this lamb, along with the rub that I'm going to put on it. Get both sides of this thing rubbed up with that Dijon mustard and the bottom here too. That thing's slippery, boy, right here. And we're not taking the membrane off. We're not too worried about that right now. What we're going to do now is wipe my hands and get my rub on there. Stay tuned. Okay, I had to put a fresh pair of gloves on because that Dijon mustard was all over my gloves. What I'm going to rub this today with is this Lane's brisket rub. This is just salt, pepper, and garlic with some other spices, but I think it's going to be good on this rack of lamb. And I got to flip this thing over and it's slippery. Let me see if I can do that. Let's pat that in a little bit on that Dijon mustard. It's off there without taking the paper with it. And yeah, Lane's brisket rub. That's what we're using for this lamb. Like I said, it's just basically salt, pepper, and garlic, which is perfect for lamb. And it's going to make a beautiful crust on my lamb, I think. It looks good already, doesn't it? Looks good enough to eat. Okay, let's get that on the fire and get it cooking. I'm going to get my thermometer into the middle of that thing. And we want to cook it to 130 degrees internal. So I'm going to put my Inkbird thermometer into the middle of the meat and turn it on. Turn it on. Press the button. And it's on. Okay. And yeah, we're going to get that on the grill and get it cooking. We want to bring it up to 130 degrees. And after that, we're going to sear it. Now I'm doing a reverse sear, but I noticed that most of the guys on YouTube were doing a forward sear, but I decided to do a reverse sear. I'm going to put it on the grill and get it cooking. I'll show you what that looks like. And while it's cooking, we're going to make a mint chimichurri sauce, the lamb sauce for this lamb. So stay tuned. Okay, the lamb's on the grill. I got the bones facing the fire. We're going to let that cook until it gets to 130 degrees internal. While it's cooking, we're going to make the lamb sauce. So stay tuned. Okay, I got my mini food chopper out here. We're going to put some mint in there. This is mint. Mint leaves. I'm going to cut the stems off of these and just use the leaves. The leafy part of the mint, I think. Get that in there. Mint. Mint and lamb goes together like peanut butter and jelly, let me tell you. I also have some cilantro. Now, if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to use it. You could just use, I'm using parsley and cilantro, but I want to put some cilantro in there because I like it. I like cilantro. I'm going to get that in there. Some cilantro. A good bit of cilantro in there. As much as I can muster because I like cilantro. We clean this bit up here. I've got a small red onion that I cut into pieces to put in my mini food chopper. And I've got some parsley. This is flat leaf parsley. I'm going to cut a bunch of that off of there and jam that in there, in that mini food chopper. I don't want the stems so much as I want the leaves, basically, so I'm going to cut the stems off and just get the leaves jammed in there. But it won't hurt if some stems get in there. They're going to get chopped up. In fact, you know what? I'm going to have to punch this down a little bit. I won't be able to get anything else in there. I hate to make this noise for you, but it's just the breaks of the game, so stay tuned. Watch this. Just punch that down a bit. Okay, that's good enough. Now we can add more stuff. Got more room. More room to add more stuff. More parsley. Clean up all that parsley. Now we need some garlic. And normally I put about 8 cloves of garlic. I'm going to put about 12 large cloves of garlic in there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cloves of peeled garlic. Now we got to put some olive oil in there. Check out this olive oil I got. My friend John sent me. John Rivet Gardner, you know Rivet Gardner. We did a collaboration last week. What a great guy. This is Tuscan extra virgin olive oil. We're going to put a glug of that in there into my mint chimichurri. Just a bit. We can always add more later. And he also sent me, now normally in chimichurri you put red wine vinegar, but in this one we're putting Blazing Betty balsamic vinegar. This stuff is the cat's butt right here. I'm going to put some of that balsamic vinegar in there. Look how thick that is. Oh man. Balsamic vinegar. I want to get that blended up and we'll take a look at it, see what it looks like. Put the cork back in that Blazing Betty. And yeah, that's my mint chimichurri. My thermometer shut off. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get that, that's the lamb sauce. Once we get that cooked up, let's put the cover on that and give it a blend, see what it looks like. I hate to make that noise, but you have to bear with me. Okay, there we go. That, babies, let's take a taste of that. That's the lamb sauce. Oh, we need to put a little bit of that rub in there. That brisket rub, salt, pepper, and garlic. That's what was lacking. A little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic. Oh man, that tastes delicious. I gotta tell you, it's sweet because of that balsamic vinegar. It's sweet and wonderful. Okay, I gotta blend that up. And then we'll come back and we'll sear our lamb. So stay tuned. Okay, the lamb rack is at 130 degrees. We're going to take it now and put it right on the hot fire to get a good sear on it. Just like that. There you go. Let that flame just kiss that puppy like that. Oh man, it's looking good. It smells amazing, I gotta tell you. Just a couple of minutes on each side. I should have put some foil on the bones so they wouldn't burn, but it's okay. Let's flip that thing over. Oh yeah, that's what you want right there. You want that nice sear on there. Get that lamb cooking. How's that look? That could be the thumbnail right there. No, I got a better thumbnail in mind. Let's move this over here. Like that. Give it a good sear all around. Flip it over. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That's looking right, babies. Okay. Let me get that off of there and let it rest. After it's rested for a couple minutes, we'll carve into it, we'll plate it up, and we'll drink a beer and take a taste, so stay tuned. Okay, my lamb is done. I've got it served on a bed of rice pilaf. I'm going to take some of that sauce, that mint chimichurri, and drizzle on there. Oh man, that stuff is the bomb. Let me tell you what, thebomb.com. The mint chimichurri. Get that on that lamb. Oh man, how does that look? Does that look good? How's that look? Let me take a picture for the YouTubes and we'll come back and drink a beer and take a taste, so stay tuned. My lamb is done. There's the Frosty Root Boy mug, star of the show. Here's today's beer, Taj Mahal Lager. This beer comes from India, and I got this at an Indian restaurant that I went to with my family recently, and they served this beer there, and I said, let me get one of those to go, and I took it home, and I knew when I was going to make some lamb, I'd be drinking this Indian lager. It's a lager. How bad could it be? From India. Pour it out into the mug. Looks pretty good. Taj Mahal Lager. I can't read the tiny little writing on that, so I don't know what the ABV is, but all we can do is what we always do, quaff the froth off of it. Stay tuned. It's delicious. Excellent. Now let me get this. How's my lamb look? Let me get the camera turned around and get some of this lamb in my mouth. Stay tuned. I can't even talk. Stay tuned. All right, my lamb is done. I got it on a bed of rice pilaf. Doesn't that look good? That look like something you want to eat? You know, I made one mistake. I'll tell you what it was. I should have put some aluminum foil on the bones so that they wouldn't get all burnt up. But there it is. I got that mint chimichurri sauce on there. I can't wait to get that in my mouth. Oh, that's delicious. I gotta get some more of that sauce. Babies, you gotta try this recipe. If you don't like lamb, give it a try. Get that mint chimichurri sauce on there. It's delicious. That balsamic vinegar. Sorry, I'm talking about my mouth full. That balsamic vinegar makes it 10 times better because it's sweet. And this Indian lager is not bad either. Not too shabby. Babies, that's my video. I hope you'll try this recipe. I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing to my channel. You know what I always say? I say if you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go up in the iCard, visit my friend Rivet Gardner. John and I just did a collaboration video last week. Turned out pretty good. We did some turkey a la king. And go check him out in the iCard. See how good I'm pointing to the iCard? Come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. And what else did I have to say? I don't think there's anything else. I think that was it. So anyway, babies, see you next week. Bye!